Hello, Saturday, the 4th of January 2019. So, what is happening in astrology today? Let's take a look at it. The moon's 61% full now. She is really starting to put it on. So, as we go through the weekend, we're going to be a lot closer to 70% by the end of tomorrow, Sunday. So, we'll take a look at the whole weekend actually. The moon is in Aries as I'm speaking here in UK, but on the Pacific coast of the States and Canada, 8:15 a.m. On the East Coast, 11:15 a.m. the moon's going to enter Taurus, and that's 16:15, 4:15 this afternoon in UK time. So as I'm speaking now, the moon is actually void in Aries, and that isn't a great situation, but that's not going to be too much to worry about in the States and Canada, I know that. But if you're a real super early bird and you're watching this even before 8:15 a.m. over there, moon void in Aries, impulsiveness, premature actions, that kind of thing, and it tends to create more problems than it solves if you really try and act on things at the moment. So do hang on, do wait for the moon to come into Taurus, because when we actually get the moon in Taurus, it's a really kind of good time of balance. It's really quite a good time of harmony as well. So it's really quite a good time, generally speaking, because Taurus, being an earth sign, is all about the feminine, the goddess energy, that kind of thing. So things can become a lot smoother, things can work a lot better and a lot more happily, basically. It's a happy kind of a situation when we get that. And that's coming towards us, actually, even though, as I do this, the moon is actually void in Aries. So that is looking positive. On Sunday, right, 21:38 here in UK, 9:38 p.m. So what would that be? 4:38 p.m. Eastern and 1:38 p.m. Pacific. The sun is going to trine the moon, so even more balance is indicated there, and that is great, because when we get the full moon on the 10th, which is next Friday, that's going to be a penumbral lunar eclipse, and that's going to be in Cancer. Different things coming into play there, a different video I'm going to make about that as well, because we like to move along fairly quickly with this one. So right now, as I was saying, the moon is about 61% full, well over halfway, well after first quarter, and coming up to full now, so the lunar energy is really building. I was looking at her outside my window last night, and I got that feeling you get from looking at the moon. You know, we can look up charts and all kinds of things here and logically try and work out what's going to happen, but just looking up at the moon says it all, really. I don't actually know what it says, but it spoke to me somewhere deep in my heart. I enjoyed that. Anyway, Sun sextile Neptune, that's been the case for a couple of days now. Spiritual reflection is favoured more than anything else by that, and being to do with the sun, it's to do with leadership, and as I've been saying a lot just lately, because it seems to apply more than usual at the moment as we go into 2020 and we're all planning ahead. It has so much to do with the way we rule and the way we lead ourselves and kind of conduct our own lives, basically. It's that kind of leadership that really matters. We find out what happens at work when we get to work, and let's face it, not everybody's boss is an astrology fan, so maybe they don't know about this, but you do. That's the main thing. Spiritual reflection, voluntary actions, it's creative, it's artistic, and where there is leadership going on, it can be visionary, and it's more likely to be visionary at this time with the Sun sextile Neptune. Now, we're into the new year here, and I bet everyone's made lots of resolutions and stuff and decided, I'm going to force myself to do this year. Well, if you've really got to force yourself, it isn't natural. I wouldn't worry about it. I really wouldn't sweat that. I got an email from Apple, actually, telling me not to worry about that. I don't know why I care what Apple thinks, but it just sounds to me as if it makes sense. So keep it natural, keep it real. That's what I'm always saying. If you're the kind of person you are, there's no point in trying to change that just because it's 2020. There really isn't. The fact is, life is change, and 2020 will bring whatever it brings, and it really is about taking down the old world order that hasn't been really helping anybody for quite a long time. The solar system is actually moving into a new part of space where newness is the order of the day and great things are happening. Quick rundown of the rest of it. Mercury conjunct the Sun. We might see big news, we might see big announcements. Transport things, I'm not seeing any problems here because Mercury isn't retrograde, doesn't actually go retrograde until the 10th of February, I believe. It's quite a while away yet, anyway, before we get to the next Mercury retrograde. But just with Mercury conjuncting the Sun, be aware of transport, travel, plan things carefully, you know, if you've actually got to make the journey anywhere, because that's going to be quite important. Excuse me, gosh, I've got to be better at editing these coughs and things out. Venus void in Aquarius, strong emotions tend to be the reason why people do things. It tends to spark off actions, and it can spark off people taking risks that not everybody is into. But as I was saying, we are moving towards that moon trine sun thing. Is it trine? Let me just check. I want to make sure I've got that right. If the tablet will let me. Yeah, so sun trine moon, moon trine sun, whichever way you want to see it. That is the strongest applying aspect that I can see in terms of moon astrology this weekend. So we are coming towards balance. We are coming towards harmony. Nothing else is really worth bothering about, is it, when you think about it? Because that's what we're all after, and that really is why we take notice of astrology, because we want to kind of bring things into balance, and we need to be ourselves about that. That's the most important thing. I'm going to leave it there. Have a fantastic weekend, folks. I will be back very soon. I'll do a sort of scan of next week's astrology, and we'll have a video about that. Thanks, everyone who's been watching the tarot videos. I've got as far as Taurus yesterday, so Gemini is coming up today. I'm looking forward to doing that. Thumbs up, please, if you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, please. That's so important. If I can just get to 1,000 subscribers, I can start working live, and blimey, you'll see some fixing if I can start working live. You really will. So subscribe, tap the bell to receive all notifications. Big thumbs up, as I say. Leave me a comment. We'll share the journey, and I'll see you again very soon. Peace.